everybody. Thanks so much for tuning in to this very special episode of Rockin' Token Talkin'. This is a combined episode of all my favorite stuff and going out as a promote for everybody to see. So I just want to tell you a little bit about Steve, Jackie, and all my wonderful co-hosts like Raven Chain and so many others, but of course Main Cable and Steve Marchena and our wonderful Sunday Sabbath show. We got so many great shows to share with you. It's all about music, it's all about love, it's through the genres around the world. And I'm so very, very honored to do things that stand up for the right reasons. We have pulled the greatest people together, play some good music, hopefully share it with you, and hopefully we can teach a few along the way about some good music through the ages. Yay! Thank you so much for joining us. We love you. Thank you so much to everybody who's been a part of everything. And if I've learned nothing from my big brother and my wonderful first co-host, it's never give up, always strive for greatness, to be kind, be humble, and to always, always, always shine your best. We talk about so many issues. We talk about so many heartbreaking things that I've been through, my medical conditions, and all the wonderful people I've met along the way. It has been such an honorable journey to be on with all of you, and I can't tell you how much I love you all. It's just been a wonderful experience and a wonderful way to promote music while we're in times of trouble, as right now we are all suffering through times of trouble. I've had so many great friends along the way really take the time out to help little Pop Pixie, little old me. And I can't thank you guys enough. I've been inspired, I've been taught, and I've been truly blessed so many times over by the help of great people like this and so many others. Play the metal loud, everybody. Keep it rocking, keep loving, keep striving, and just never give up. And that's the moral of our story. And we want to share it with you. We travel all across the world, but Steve and I are both located in Canada, and we bring you a lot of music that centers around Canada and all the places we love, and we want to share that with you. I am Canadian, and my heart lies in America sometimes, as my daughter lives there. I've had medical treatment there, and I've lived there for the past 5 years. I've recently come back to Canada and started these amazing shows with Lips, and I'm very proud to be home. It's a great country to be in. There's a lot of issues on both sides of the border, and we talk about all of it. But I just want to say that Canada is one of the most special places where we do things a little differently, and we love a little easier, and we're a little more accepting of things. And I wish I could see that across America. But America is a very special place for me too. I traveled so many incredible places, and I got to see so many incredible things, and I got to meet so many incredible people and hear so much incredible good music, and I found a lot of good hearts on the way. I can't tell you how proud I am to bring the music all the way around the world and to share my friends from all over with all of you. I am so very honored. I think this is one of the most incredible things I've ever done or ever will do. We talk about such great things like
I wonder what's inside your butthole. I wonder what's inside your butthole. Maybe there's astronauts and maybe there's aliens all inside your butthole.
And we also talk about some great things about the music industry and its problems and its issues and all these wonderful things. So join us, stay tuned, and I hope you enjoy this great episode I brought to you with love. I just wanted to say a few words to you because I love you. I know that you all know I'm sick. I just don't know if you know, all of you, how sick and how I'm trying to do as much as I possibly can right now. I'm really not anymore. I am in bedridden state, awaiting medical care that may never come because it's just out of the scope of what's available in Canada and the timing that I have. I've been put on permanent bed rest, and I am trying my hardest to do as much work as I possibly can. I just want to tell you all that I love you so much. It's been a long road these past 2 years, and a beautiful one, and I'm so proud of everything we've done, and all of the beautiful hearts that have helped me. And somehow I just think that with every new friendship and opportunity, that a world of miracles is coming, and that I can help so many. And I just keep feeling beautifully. I have these wonderful shows, and they're amazing, and I really hope they get out there to the world so that people can hear how beautiful not only your music is, but the people you are. Because I pulled all the most exceptional hearts that I can together, and to be on my shows. And I know sometimes that your scheduling or location makes it difficult, but we will try and get you all on. COVID is shut down so much, and I just wanted to place you all and do concerts and make love music across North America, and I just can't pull it together. For some reason, our online events do well, but it's the only peace I've ever found. The music is what matters. The story is what matters, and I just want you to know that if I can't get everything done in time, that I want to thank you all for your kindnesses and your gifts to me, and I hope that one day they are shared somewhere so that people will know just how wonderful you've been. I made so many novice mistakes because this industry is so hard. So hard. And I trust the wrong people, or I fall into like accepting somebody's promise of help that wasn't true or had some kind of ulterior intention, and I just and I hear this story time and time again from all the hearts that are involved on my page, you know, just how hard it is to succeed. And each and every one of you who have deserved it, because it's so hard. I just want to say I love you. Be kind to each other, and thank you for everything. Kelly V. Pop Pixie. I just want to say that since I started this, I've had the biggest dreams, and I've seen the end before it even started. I met so many incredible hearts along the way, and I've made so many incredible friends, and we've done so much. We've worked so hard. You have donated so much. It's really hard to choose music to put behind these words specifically, but I chose this for a reason. One is absolutely beautiful, and it came from a friend who donated this to me, but it speaks to the fact that my journey has been so long and full of so many ups and downs and hardships and near misses and success and failures, that sometimes I think the hearts that are here along the way lose a little bit of faith, and I don't think they realize just how hard I work every day. I don't think they realize how hard it is to put all of these amazing things together, and I really wish that you would come back to the fold of the family, and I promise you that, no hard feelings. I love everybody. That's what this is all about, music and love, man, and acceptance, learning and growing, and just sharing with the whole wide world. So thank you so much for all your donated gifts from all of the bands, and thank you so much for this one. I really appreciate you all, and I can't tell you how much it means to me, all the hearts that have stuck it out with me along the way, and you know who you are because I tell you I love you absolutely every day. And that's what it's all about, brothers and sisters. My metal family, my music family, all across the world. I just want to share everything with everybody. I don't have, I think, a selfish goal in this except that to raise awareness for people who can't stand up for themselves, to share the music with the very rare, that I am putting together a great episode of a new show where we introduce rock stars to rare disease people because it impacted my life to do so much and to make a change. I've been able to interview and meet so many people who have been inspired, crushed, reborn through music. And their stories and their documentaries and their journeys are a very, very proud part of my story. I have been able to meet some of the most exceptional people all over the world. And their stories are chosen to be on my show, part of my circle and my smaller family within the larger core, for a very special reason. And I really can't wait to share it all with you, and for it to all come out, and for everybody to see my true heart. Because it is full of love, and it is full of all of your music. For you have affected me so very, very deeply. You have changed me, and you have made me get up every day through impossible odds and do amazing things with amazing people. So I just want to say thank you so much, and I love you more than words can ever say. Kelly B. Hopkins. As promised, here are some really great clips from the shows that we've done and some of my favorite moments and some of my proudest things. I'm really glad to share them with you, and I hope you continue to support us and all we're doing with sharing music, awareness, and love through the genres and across the globe. Thanks so much, Kelly V. Hello? Hello? Oh, no.
Hello.
Hello? Oh, this is awesome. Everybody's starting to sync up, I think.
I'm just put my video on. All good.
Hello. Wow. Nice to see you. Oh my goodness. I think there's Roy. That's my
Can you hear me?
partner in creating all this. Hi, Roy.
I can't hear anybody.
You can't hear anybody. That's no good.
There we go. Now I can hear everything.
Yay. I don't know. It says that Lips is connecting and there's little dots. I confirmed today with everybody, so hopefully they all show up momentarily.
It'll happen.
Yeah, and I can see it's recording.
Yay! That didn't happen last time, unfortunately, because I forgot to click that button. So,
That's what I was making sure too.
I think on Ron Keel, Tony Dolan, and Gia and Jimmy. and lips. It says he's here, but
Yeah, it says he's connecting to audio, so I don't know if he still needs to set that up or not.
maybe
Is that
I
a
can
rock and
reach
roll
him
cup
in
of tea,
face.
that boy?
He
How
has
you doing?
been absolutely wonderful, and I know he's really excited to talk
He is,
to you,
boy.
Jackie.
The rock and roll
Oh, coffee? Is everybody drinking coffee or is that eggnog?
chamomile tea. To be so rock and roll.
Hardcore. Does it have
Right,
caffeine?
It's past my
Oh,
bed.
this is decaf for me. I've already had my
What's
dose of
happening
caffeine
here?
for the day.
Past my bedtime. I'm usually in bed by now. It's
Are you? Who is calling me? That is coming for me. Oh, that is a friend of mine. He does pop up sometimes at the weirdest moments. God timing. Sorry about that. All right, I guess we're still waiting for everybody else. But let's chat about you, Jackie. Where are you located right now?
I'm in Leeds, England, so like the north of if that's London and that's Scotland, I'm about here. In the middle.
Oh, nice. And
I'm
what's
not-
going on over there right now with COVID? Is everything shut down?
Well, yeah, we've just found that we've got this thing called a tier system here. So like we're in lockdown right now till December 2nd, and then they go into tiers. Like tier 1 is like the shops are open, blah, pubs are open, blah blah blah. Tier 2 is like everything, main things are open. If you can eat, you can go in and things like that. And then tier 3 is like lockdown.
Wow, so you're in
It's
complete
like main shops
lockdown.
with food and stuff like that. But it's just crazy. Nobody knows what's going on, so nobody's really taking much notice of it. To be fair.
I bet that must be creating a lot of panic and a lot of
It is.
stress.
It's kind of like it's kind of feeding the fear again, isn't it? You know, it's like it's just people are confused. To be fair, people are very confused, and I'm not surprised because like you get 1 tier, 2 tier, 3 tier. Sometimes you don't even know which tier you're in, and it changes from week to week, and then government changes the rules, and who knows what's going on? It's crazy.
Yeah, it's like that in the States where it's like different in each state. Some of them are in lockdown and then there are others that aren't doing anything.
Where are you?
And-
Boy?
I'm over in the state of Florida, and of course, government hasn't, the local governor hasn't enforced any lockdowns yet. But
Right.
there are some other states like New York State. They're pretty much in lockdown. Some of them are up until Christmas. Others are until probably till the end of the year.
Hey Ron, how are you? We see you.
Good afternoon. Good to see everybody. Good to be
Nice.
here.
Thanks for joining. And where are you coming in from right now? Or where are we hearing you from?
The wild Midwest, Sioux Falls, South Dakota.
South Dakota. Wow. So what's going? We were just talking about this current state of things in our area, I guess. You know,
So what is your area? Where are you at, Kelly?
I'm currently just outside of Toronto, Canada. Roy's in Florida. Jackie's in Leeds. And here comes Lips, I think.
Yay!
Yay!
Finally.
Finally. How
You
are
made
you,
it.
brother?
All right. Because people aren't going to believe how cool this is.
Yeah, I know. Send it to me too. Send it to me too. Hey everybody, it's Kelly V, the Pop Pixie here. So proud to bring you another episode of Rockin' Token Talkin' One-on-Ones. This one is with the most incredible Jackie Chambers of Girls Tool and Cyteria, and my very good friend, probably one of the sweetest angels of metal I have ever met. And you're really gonna love this episode, so stay tuned. If you got a beer, if you got a joint, whatever it is you want to sit down and chill with, your cup of coffee, just grab it, sit down, and enjoy the show. Thanks so much for supporting me, Kelly V, the Pop Pixie, and we're gonna get right to that interview right now. My interviews are usually done with the fabulous Lips Steve Kudlow, but these are one-on-ones with just me, Kelly V, the Pop Pixie, and my guests. Thanks.
Oh, good, hear you. I love that. Technology, eh? Right.
I know, right? And I should have gone to school for this maybe, or learned a thing or two before, but hey.
Me
When
too.
you-
People around me, they all seem to know what they're doing, so I think I'll let them do it.
Exactly, right? And there's like nobody here. So it's learn or sink, I guess. The older I get, I'm resenting the young ones, you know. Not, I guess it's envy, isn't it?
Yeah, it's all right.
Turn it around.
I always, whenever I see your stuff, I try to make a point of liking it, and
Mhm.
you know, because you'll tag me and I'll add it to the page so people can see and hopefully get involved. And so
Thank you,
all
John.
good, man. And thank you for supporting the metal. I mean,
All right. Yeah. Well, it's an honor to do so.
There we go.
Ben, good to see you, brother. Here comes Lawrence Wallace. This is the man that we're doing this for. Hopefully this goes well. So welcome to our first episode of Rare Disease Meets Rockstar. Lips, did you not just buy a brand new guitar?
what's that?
Did you not just buy a brand new guitar?
Yeah, I did.
He called me and told me and showed me. It's so pretty and red.
It's at rehearsal.
Oh, damn. Too
Oh, you don't
bad.
have it? You're not going to show it off?
So did you play it? Did it sound as good as it looked?
Yeah, it sounds better than it looks.
Mm-mm-mm. It was pretty. Cherry red, beautiful finish. I don't know. What would you call the color of it?
Red.
Red. I love it. I didn't get it wrong. I'm like, because I ask guitarists all the time, what's the difference? Because when you go into a guitar store, to me, they all look the same. And people are like, oh, Kelly. Oh, Kelly.
I think the way it sounds makes more of a difference.
So, okay, Lawrence is good. Oh, we can't hear you playing.
No, I was just I wasn't plugged in. How about now? You can hear that?
Mm-hmm.
I had a brainstorm about how to make, if using, as a bass player, using bass stuff without having any attack on it, but just having, a key and playing things in a key. I think that would be one way to be able to play like in key together on a Zoom platform,
Yeah.
obviously,
I think we're gonna just have to try it one at a time and see how it goes. So, Lawrence, do you want to start first, or Ben, do you want to start first?
So, all right.
Lawrence, why don't you go ahead, man? I got to find my tuner real quick. I thought we
As a matter of fact, I actually don't even know what I'm tuned to.
Oh, okay.
Hang on a second.
It's all right. So, Lips, what have you been? Well, we're tuning. What have you been up to, man?
Not too much, man. Cleaning up the yard today.
You, the rock star,
yard.
the
Yep.
yard work.
Can I ask one quick question? Did you make it to the shed?
No.
I know you did. Hey, Greg, how are you,
Hey,
brother?
I'm here.
Welcome.
I finally figured out how to do this on an iPad.
It always takes a few minutes. So the idea is, this is Lawrence Wallace. Say hi, Lawrence.
Hi, how are you?
This is
Hello,
my
how you
very
doing?
special friend. We've explained what all kinds of awesome stuff he's done for me and what a great player he is. And he's really honored to meet all of you. He's really excited. He's going to play some music for us right now, actually.
I want to be born many, many years in the future. I don't want to be born when I'm
Well, for me, going up to being 20, that encompassed a lot of changes in music, because by that time, I joined Legacy, which became Testament when I was 17. So
Wow.
I was playing clubs at 18. So and Metallica was blowing up at that point, and Slayer and that. So, but for me, between the ages of 10 and 20 encompassed huge changes in heavy music.
How does it feel now, Lips and Greg, to be influencers to somebody like Lawrence? To be that band for Lawrence and Ben.
I think it's great. It's an honor.
How's it feel, Lips?
It's what Lemmy told me it would feel like.
What did he say?
It's funny because I had a discussion with Lemmy sitting across the table going, man, you're the fucking greatest. You have no idea what you did for metal.
Oh, we're not worthy. We're not worthy.
And he looks at me, in 10 years from now, there'll be another fucking guy sitting across this table and saying exactly the same thing to you.
I love the Lemmy impression.
Beautiful thing said on the show.
You have any quick questions for Greg or for Lips?
Well, I didn't know it was like anything. I actually was thinking something as you were just talking, like, since we didn't get a song, since we didn't, she was asking us to maybe like jam out, and it turned into something we couldn't, I guess, do right now. But maybe if, do you think it'll be cool if like I can like set the skeleton for some sort of simple thing, like a verse chorus kind of thing, and like send it through, and then we can actually like maybe just put something out with all our names on it, if that's okay with everybody. If you,
Yeah.
Absolutely. I'm down.
That would be beautiful. I have been gifted a lot of music, and I'm seeking the right label to bring out a compilation album that would blow everybody's minds. This is the incredible match, Natty. Natty French, whatever you want to say. I'm so
Thank you for
blown
having me. Thank you so much.
Man. You were like the very first person to respond to me on this journey, and it has been a long one. It's just been a long 2 years,
Yeah. It's good to see you. Finally, we talk,
Yeah. Where are you at right now?
I'm in New York. And
So what's it like right now? Do you feel really repressed with the everything being shut down? 'Cause I know Scatolites, you guys are pretty much on the road all the time, aren't you?
Yeah. Well, I joined the band 11 years ago.
Yeah, wow.
And,
I have a special story about this, but yeah, please tell us all about this. This is.
But yeah, so touring is great, and yeah, but it's great.
So I love that art is just universal. Language is universal. It's a great example of you. You travel the world. You don't need to speak the language to spread the love. You don't need to,
Love language.
Love language. Exactly. That's the whole point of it. I really wish we had a chance to talk about Studio One and the label of Studio One and the way they worked and how they spread music through the world.
There is so much. There is so
1
much.
minute and 25 seconds.
So much stuff to talk about. Yes, Catalite was a musician in the Studio One. So,
yes.
A lot of recording you hear is Catalite musician and
yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
So-
they used to record two in different places. Yeah.
If you do me the honor of another interview, I know you're so very, very busy, but I'd really love to talk about, that whole history because it is wonderful. And I'm so familiar with all the music and the way it's like filtered out. And I'd love to chat at a legend with it. But we have 1 minute. So thank you so much. I love you very much.
We do that another time, because we have to talk more about Catalite. I feel like we even didn't talk much about the Catalite.
We did. But I mean,
it was great to see you.
Right.
Fascinating interview with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Thanks
Thank
to
you.
guys.
Bye now.
Let's
Bye.
make
Stay
it,
in touch though.
let's make it
Definitely.
again.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you now.
Yay! That took a second. It sometimes does. I'm just waiting for lips to come on. Everybody will come on one at a time. How are ya?
I am well, thank you. How are you doing? You look well.
Thank you. You too. I'm so excited. I won't lie. This is gonna be awesome. How are things in Florida?
Actually pretty good. Things are looking very, very good for actually the end of this year into the beginning of next year. Things are opening up. We're not shutting back down.
But we also wanted to talk about the vaccine, right, Lips?
Yeah, we can talk about it. I don't know if I want to get it.
Don't you want an extra 3 heads?
Sure.
Well, I think we're going to turn us all into mutants.
That's right. Insane.
I think if it gets me to a show next month, I'll take it right now. I'll be the first person. I swear to God.
Don't be too excited.
There's going to be side effects. There's going to be side effects. There's got to be.
Oh yeah, it's like the Bell's palsy.
Yeah, we're not good. Not good.
I don't know. I mean, if you look at the track record of how long it takes to do these things normally, I mean, I know they basically promised them heaven and earth and a lot of money to get it done quickly. But haven't they done that with a lot of other stuff? I don't know.
It's true.
Well, put it this way, by the time it comes down for our chance to get it, you'll see all the side effects.
I was going to say that. We only have
By the time it hits the
125,000.
dregs
Yeah.
of society like us, we'll know if there's side effects or not.
We only have 125,000 in Canada. I guess 250, but you need 2 shots. So they let them give it to the politicians and whoever they think is elite or whatever, and test it out on them. And then, you know, once
Well, see,
it's
that's
all
the
ironed
thing. If
out-
you test it out on the politicians, if there's something wrong with it, we get rid of the politicians.
Right, exactly.
And if it works, then we get a vaccine. It's all good.
There we go. There we go.
Perfect.
Wait, is it a
From the time you're disconnected from your mother at birth, all you're doing for the rest of your life is looking for connection. And
Yeah.
and it's a natural thing. And people do it through religion. People do it through all different sources. But bottom line is you need connection, because that's what keeps you connected to everybody else in the world and everything else that's around you. You're always looking for some way to bridge that gap and look for ways to hook in and believe in.
Good point. That's a great point. And I've been saying this to people as like, do you think there's a reason why they came down so hard on the music industry? I just wanted to ask Billy, you know, he's in Nashville right now. Has he and like management had discussed anything about going forward, like, you know, as far as performing and anything like that?
Well, I'm in a couple of different bands, so I get a nice broad spectrum of point of view, thankfully. And at this point, nobody's talking about much of anything until next summer. A friend of mine is in, Ray Luger is a wonderful friend of mine and a drummer for Korn.
Yeah.
They're booking things, but they don't know if they can fulfill those bookings.
Right. Because
And,
because the insurance companies are not covering.
Exactly. It's going to be rough. And I feel, as you guys all know, and Kelly, you know as well, the peripheral people, the crew and the catering and the sound and lights and truck people, man, it's been really tough for them. For musicians, you know, there's a couple other things we can do for money.
Deliveries, man.
Yeah.
The best musician's job.
It's down at the bottom.
So
Oh,
what are the bands that you play for?
well, thank you for joining us. I know the time frame is different.
You live near Tracy Lamb?
I do, yeah, not far. She's about 20 miles from me, yeah.
Right.
Oh, wow.
I know Tracy really well.
I figured you would do.
There's lots of old rock and roll musicians living in Spain at the moment.
Oh, bing.
Hi.
Hey, that's it.
Yes, we did it. This is Randy the Arsonist Cooper from, well, you introduce yourself.
Yeah, Randy Cooper from Texas Hippie Coalition, and then Emperors and Elephants out of Chicago.
Nice,
Oh, wow.
nice.
Good to meet you, Andy.
So how are things down in Texoma where you're at right now?
Man, it's hot. I wear shorts today, but we got a freeze coming from Canada.
Do you
know?
see that? Does anybody see that? You know,
there's another but cold wind and a barbed wire fence in between us, but you know, y'all are coming my way.
oh, it is so cold here. It's not even funny, isn't it, Lips?
Yeah, it's starting to get really cold.
It is.
We had a warm spell.
Yeah.
A warm spell where.
Oh, look at the Marshall stacks, man! Right on.
We had
scenario.
Randy played an
I got a
event
little-
of
I got a
mine
couple
in
of things, so-
Texoma, and some drunk girl got into a car and backed over his beautiful Marshall amp and
yeah.
destroyed it.
Well, it didn't run it, man. I got it back, and it is playing.
Well, it's working, but I mean, she drove over it with a car and it went, and he stood there and went, it's okay, man. He
Yeah, I was
took
about
it
to cry.
so well.
Still sounds good.
Yeah,
what-
man,
They're built to last.
smashed everything.
Marshall amps are built to last.
Was that the worst thing that's ever happened to you at a concert?
Yeah, just, because she put it in gear, and it rolled down a hill and smashed this other band's, all the road cases. And the car stopped, about 10 feet from mine. When they dug everything out, they're like, oh my God, whose Marshall is that? And it was freaking mangled. And but it didn't do nothing to the chassis. And it crunched my tubes and all that. And I put the box back together. And I played it. It took about 2 weeks. So the reason it took 2 weeks is because it took like 2 weeks to get the tubes in because of the virus. You can't, the mail ain't running on real time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nothing runs on real time out there. It's kind
Yeah,
of
and that was so that's when I got to meet Kelly and and had a little thing with her. Hold on, let me turn this down.
Oh. Yeah, we did a 5-band event out in Texoma, and it was a lot of fun. So, what's the worst thing that's happened disaster-wise at an event, you guys?
I've got a good one.
I remember those days living up north. No, absolutely not.
A little bit, basically shutting down the strip and everywhere, and people went.
A lot of crazy stuff surrounding Manson right now. Is there anything you wanted to say or not say about it? Everybody, we've got a great episode of Rockin' Token Talking coming right at you, so stay tuned and grab your joints, your beers, your coffee, your wine, whatever it is you need to chill. Sit back and enjoy a great interview with my amazing co-host, Steve Kudlow, Lips of Anvil, and I, as we interview some epic people. Thanks so much for supporting and sharing, and spread it around, everybody. Kelly B. Hello, everybody. Welcome to a very special episode of Rockin' Token Talkin'. And you'll see why. Hello. Wait for everybody to join in. Sam is here too. Lips is here too. Oh, we're just waiting for everybody to connect. Thomas. Wow. Hi, Chris. How are you?
Hey, hold on. I got you.
Everybody's connecting. Hello. Nice to see you, Sam. Thomas is connecting. Lips, I think, is. Oh, I have to let him in the room. There we go. He'll connect in a minute. How is everybody?
Just fine, thank you. Doing good. How are you?
Wonderful. I have my camera over here and the computer over here, so it's tripping me out. But anyway, why don't you guys all just introduce yourselves and what band you're in while we're waiting for Lips to connect.
I'm Christopher Johnson. I play in Therion.
That's pretty awesome. Hi. I am a big Therion fan, if you haven't noticed my posts across your page. Thank you so much for being here. Where are you from, Sam?
Sam Spade from the Midnight Devils from right in Lincoln, Nebraska.
Nice, Nebraska. Yeah. Wow, way out there. Hi, Thomas. How are you? Can we hear you? We can't hear you. We can see you.
Hi, baby. I'm fine. How are you?
I'm wonderful. Can you
hear me?
I can hear you. We all know who you are, but can you introduce yourself and what band you're from?
Well, I'm Thomas Wikström from the band Therion, and there is my bandmate in the funny hat. Yeah, and I didn't see him for a while. Voivod, yeah. I have.
Oh, this is gonna be awesome. Thank you so much for joining, everybody. We're just waiting for Lips to connect. And we have one more person. We're also waiting for another friend. There's Lips. Say hello, everybody.
Hello. Everybody. All good.
All right, and then one more person, and we're good. Okay, we're gonna do it all over again for Lips. So let's say who you are and what band you're from, please.
I'm Christopher Johnson from Therion.
Nice.
Sam Spade from the Midnight Devils.
Nice.
Thomas,
Yeah, it's me again. Another guy.
Yeah, I know. There's lots of us. Who are you, Thomas?
Oh, sorry. I'm Thomas, and I'm the singer in the band Therion, together with that guy over there.
Confused, right? But
see, the thing
I
is,
don't think you'll ever disarm America or take
the
that
thing
right
is
away.
that I think there's almost more guns than people.
No.
I
But
don't know
anyways,
what
let's
the
talk
difference are,
about
but
music where you guys all are. So what is everybody doing right now during COVID? What are you guys creating?
Well, we're writing a lot of music. We just made one record, and we have enough material for way more than 2 more records.
Oh, good.
So
Yes.
we're using the time very wisely. We compose a lot, and we record remotely a lot. So we're way ahead of schedule. We have almost recorded everything of the basics for Leviathan 2. And the drums and the bass have just been nailed for Leviathan 3. So
Oh my God.
we're not losing any time.
No.
Still writing. We didn't meet in person for over 1 year, but we speak every day because we're sending files. I mean, the amount of gigabyte must be some kind of record, you know. It's amazing.
So okay, this is your 17th album you guys let out. Is that correct?
Yes.
Leviathan? Good for you guys. That's great. That's really, really great. And you're all almost ready for Leviathan too. Have you guys felt like COVID enhanced your productivity?
Look at this interviewing guy here.
I'm curious because I know both
the same
Steve
question.
and I have felt like COVID, has had negative things, but definitely as far as working remotely, has really done great things for music in a lot of aspects. Definitely
Totally.
not touring or live concerts, but
Yeah, we recorded this album in I don't know how many countries. Was it 8 different countries?
9 countries, I think.
Awesome, man. Right on.
Yeah, I think
yeah.
Sweden, Germany, Spain, US of A, England, Italy, I don't know.
Israel.
Israel, yeah. The choir is
Argentina.
recorded in Israel. Argentina, yeah.
Thomas, I just wanted to ask, are you doing any more solo stuff? I know you gave a special gift to me of Ave Maria. We could talk about that at some other point, but are you doing any more solo stuff?
Well, yeah, I've been saying for 10 years now. It never comes out. I never find the time to do it. I want to do it, but I don't know when the time is right. I will do it.
Well, I
now,
can't wait.
I wouldn't have a chance.
Oh, well, it sounds like you guys are really busy. And what are you working on right now, Lips?
What am I working on?
Lyrics, more lyrics.
It always takes the longest.
I always try and pry what he's doing every week. Like, what's the song about?
What was the last one? Don't look back.
Don't look back.
Don't look back.
Wow. You have so much to look back on. How could you not?
Because you gotta look forward. It's not what life is about.
Right on.
That's what you
Not what
always
it's
teach
really
me.
about. Leave the history behind you.
And how many albums
Gotta
will this
constantly
be?
working on making that history appear. Very important about taking part in your future. That's how you make it. That's how you get anywhere. Is worrying about tomorrow. Like recording music and writing music that you're not going to use for another year from now. Who gives a shit? But you get it done. Hey, the guy who writes and records the most music is the guy that wins. It's not the guy who most records.
Right on, man. Right
And what album number is this, Lips?
It's a race to the end.
How many?
Yeah, it's a race to the end.
How many do you have?
This is number 19 I'm working on.
So Therion, you gotta catch up. You're real close. So you could hit 20 first.
Yeah, respect.
Steve, what do you have in your disorder? I'm sorry. Let me interrupt you.
Ready, set, go. Game started on this show.
What year was the first Anvil album?
First Anvil album was that came out was in 81.
81.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Same,
I wasn't even into
basically
metal.
in the same time as Ace of Spades.
Wow.
Because
What about you guys?
our first show as Anvil was opening for Motorhead on the Ace of Spades, on their Ace of Spades tour.
Oh, nice.
I was just watching footage of you playing in the town I was born in a few months after I was born. Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario.
Oh, wow. We flipped the truck there.
What year did your first album come out, Chris?
89, we recorded the first mini album, Time to Tell, that was released in 1990. But I don't know if that really counts as an album, as a mini album, 4 songs. So in 91 came the first full length.
No, it counts. It counts. It all counts.
We don't really count it in the 17th, but it was our first time having a vinyl press.
So like Lips, you just must have never stopped.
No.
How are you handling the downtime and the isolation? Is it getting to you guys?
We're all busy. I mean, most of the time I spend in my office or in my studio anyway, so it's not that big difference.
I think the downtime would be a problem if you took the approach of waiting for everything to return to the way it was before the pandemic. Then the downtime would be a problem. But it sounds like everybody here, I think you use the term, the pivot or pioneer, find new ways to do things. If you do that, then it's, there is no downtime.
Absolutely.
Yeah, I never have downtime, but it's hard.
Spirit.
It's hard not being able to go to shows, and it's depressing. It gets to people.
I longing to be on the road.
Yeah.
I long to touch
Oh
people.
man, I miss the
very
tour.
physical.
With this type of technology, like Kelly bringing us from all over the world together here, we have an alternate route to get to the road. Here we are reaching, whoever wants to come to this show right now, and we don't have a minute of downtime for that. Of course, there's playing live and gigging, which is great, but when we don't have that opportunity, we make the best of what we did. Steve, I don't know if you brought it up, but he does a lot of virtual tours. I don't know if you want to sort of explain that what that is, Steve.
Well, it's just live streaming, and there's something that I've done that's kind of weird. What that is that, so I'm on the East Coast of the United States, and 8 p.m. seems like a popular time for live streams, right? What I've done for these virtual tours is one night I play at 8 p.m., the next night at 9 p.m., the next night at 10 p.m., and then go around a 24-hour cycle. And what's great about that is, I have friends around the world that you say, for example, in Australia, if I play at 6 a.m. here, then I wind up playing for people in Australia at 8 p.m. So
exactly. It's always the future somewhere, man. And I experience that too. Lips, I love you, but you give me 1 hour a week. And everybody around the world is like, can't we do it at this time? I'm like, no, we can't. It's this time and that's it. And, some people it's tomorrow, some people it's yesterday. And I think that's really cool. But it is the face, unfortunately, of the music industry, and what we have to do is online content. Ask me how it's all going to work. I don't know. I think the whole industry is going to be down for another year as we knew it before. So I think there's going to be lots of new awesome things coming at us, and we got to stay relevant, and it's difficult. So I'd love to hear about what you're doing, personally outside of this as well, because it's hard to stay current right now.
Yeah, I'll tell you, again, not to sit there and keep hopping on the same thing, but I really think it's only downtime if you let it be downtime. I've probably been more I've got more done during this pandemic in music than I've got done in probably the last 20 years. There's more variables around that, but it's never, necessity is the mother of invention. And we have definitely come a lot further, a lot quicker in communications than we ever would have without the pandemic.
Now, do you all think that in one more year we will return to 200,000 person concerts? Do you think we'll return to the industry as we knew it? Chris,
I don't
Lips?
I don't know. Not for a long time. People have to get used to that the pandemic is over and stop worrying about it.
And
that's
when
a long time for that to fade.
Absolutely, man. I agree with you 100%, man.
What do you guys
stop
think,
worrying about
Thomas,
getting
Chris?
past-
Like, in that part of the
I-
world, did they see a future soon?
They opened up the restaurants here yesterday, and it was amazing just to go out and see people and take a beer, together with friends. And yeah, that was cool. But I like to think positive about it. I think this vaccine, I believe in it. So I think that will stop it, But if it's 1 year or 1.5 years or 2 years, I don't know. But I like to think that it's gonna be okay in 1 year.
So I think things are going to wind up in a better place than they are now, and ultimately a better place than they were before the pandemic. The thing I think that we need to consider, though, is there are certain things like an interview, where in the past, a lot of times people would say, well, when are you going to be in the Boston area? And let's meet.
Yeah.
Everything would, there was
sure.
so many things were based on fossil fuels in the past. Now, because of the pandemic, we found ways to work remotely. And what I think is there's going to be
Which is great.
Yeah, and there'll be a deep integration coming.
Yes.
It's not going to go back to the way it was. And in that way, when you mentioned concerts with 200,000 people, I think it's less likely because now there's way more ways to experience even live music. So, of course, there will be crowds in this old school way of doing things. But I would like to make an analogy about that. Is before recorded music, albums, the sheet music industry was the music industry. And at the advent of sound recording, the people in the sheet music industry are like, oh, when is it going to get back to the way it was? Well, it never did. That doesn't mean people don't buy sheet music. They do. It's just that there's more ways of doing things now. And I think that's what's going to happen here. There's going to be live concerts, old school things. But what's happened now, this type of a meeting, this live streaming, the remote collaboration that we're all doing, that's going to stick around, and there'll be an integration.
Can I just ask one question? Does anybody else thinks this guy looks like the metal version of Jay from Silent Bob?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Do you guys see it? Like just a little bit? All right. Okay. Anyways, I agree with you, man. I really do. I've been saying it since last spring. I'm so thankful all of you guys are kicking around to do these interviews. You have not said so much as 2 words, Sam. So please, chime in whenever you want to, man. Don't be
you guys
shy.
are doing great.
What do you think? Do you think it's gonna come back to where you are?
It's already started to open up here in Nebraska. At least they never really stopped doing concerts in certain places. And you can kind of think of this, like I work as a DJ in a strip club and it never really shut down. We're still packing in 100 people into the strip club every night of the week.
Wow.
But yet concerts aren't allowed to happen. That's the
So
weird
you
thing.
guys are personally responsible for the spread of COVID.
Absolutely, I guess.
What a great job. Do you get to play your own music or do you have to DJ?
Yeah, it's a cool thing where I get to play, create a cool dynamic of playing terrible strip club music, but sliding in great rock and roll music on top of that. It's a cool thing that I don't think anybody's ever done here in Nebraska, at least. It definitely creates a buzz and keeps the club jumping.
Nice.
I can imagine. Interesting. So that's crazy. I noticed that about the states. Certain states are wide open, certain states are shut right down. I don't know why that is, but it's really painful to people on the next state over who can't do a freaking thing.
And they're talking about just booking tours in, say, Texas or just in Florida, or everybody's kind of planning on these things are opening up. Bands are going to go there and do shows. I mean, I don't know what the right thing is.
The thing is that if you're going to bring in even members,
The problem is crossing states where they might have different restrictions.
right? Yeah. So if you're bringing in, say, a member or the whole band also to another state, you're going to be quarantined there for a couple weeks. And is it worth the pay to be put up? Cost, right? The cost. It's always the dollars.
I got a question for, we got a whole plethora of musicians from different areas. I've experienced the side of things where I bought concert tickets and then they were canceled, and there was absolutely nothing except maybe an email saying someday we'll help you out, or return your ticket, or give you another ticket. I don't know if any of you guys have been on the side of selling tickets and having canceled and dealing with that, or on my side of the things where I had actually bought concert tickets and wasn't able to use them. And who was keeping all of this money that was sold for concert tickets and never happened? And a lot of, as far as I know, unless you guys know differently, nobody's money was refunded for all these concerts that never took place.
Ouch.
In Europe, they are.
Oh, they are?
South America, no.
Wow.
Canceled over there. A lot of people get, they can't get the money back because sometimes they
can't
just
get
with the money, right?
Now there's a few concerts that the tickets are still supposed to be open for whenever the band can come back.
Right, but in band time, that doesn't mean that the band's gonna even be around when
Exactly. Who knows, right?
Oh,
The band might not exist by the time that they can come back.
I heard Live Nation may be going bankrupt, so it depends maybe who your ticket's sold by.
Yeah, if there's a company going.
Ticket to Kiss in Stockholm. They never came, of course, and they will not come this year either. But the ticket is still valid,
Oh, nice. Well, we got 1 minute left. I just want to say thank you so much to everybody. It's been a real blast.
Nice meeting everybody, man.
Thank you. Pleasure.
Talking with y'all.
Cool to meet all
Yeah.
of you.
Stay
Thank
safe.
you.
Keep it metal, everybody. Love you. Bye.
Nice meeting you guys.
Nice to meet you.
Thanks, Kelly.
Bye.
We're going to do it our way, and then use them. Because if it was all of, they wouldn't be sleeping on the streets, would they? If it was all of them, they wouldn't be getting out of their houses. They would have heating, so they wouldn't be dying in the winter because they can't afford their heating. They wouldn't be going to food banks because they don't have money. So not all of them. You represent some of them, and the ones who are okay, who don't care.
This is a great idea. I can't thank you enough for all your support. I think you're just amazing.
Community, Kel, it's about being hand in hand, like we just said, But I was very honored you asked me. So for anybody who's maybe listening, the story is the night before Christmas, of course, which I'm sure if you haven't heard it, you know of it. And the wonderful Kelly here wrote Krampus before Christmas, so she rewrote it. So it's pretty cool.
I don't think Americans know about Krampus.
Now, lots of people don't. It's a Dutch thing, and it came from.
It's so awesome.
But it's really kind of cool. It's just a play on there. Krampus was a character who they used to threaten the children, and if they weren't good, Krampus would come and steal you or eat you or some shit like
Apparently, he could take you to hell for a whole year.
He could take you to hell as well. Yes.
I mean, just think, would our children be better behaved? Do you think?
They have more fun. If you told kids these days, if you're not good, he'll take you to hell. They'd probably go, that sounds cool,
Yeah, I know, right? They're scared to nothing now. But I mean, I'm just thinking it's so great. So I'm doing some artwork. Hopefully I can put that up for charity around Krampus. I just started it. But thank you so much. And you have yourself a wicked night. We're running out of time. It's going to cut me off real soon. So,
Well, look after yourself. Be well. Give my love to Lips and to you. Be safe. Be well. Lots of love. And I'll talk to you very soon.
Pixie's Christmas special brought to you by none other than me, the Pop Pixie, and Roy Stegman of Pyre Driver Records. Thank you so much to Tony Dolan for starting off the show with this epic performance. Merry Christmas, everyone.
'Twas the nightmare before Christmas, and all through the house every creature was stilling, even the mouse. Yes, all the stockings were hung by the chimney with great care. Proof was inside them, St. Nick had been there. The family was nestled, all but one, in their beds, a little one envious of the sweet visions in their heads. 'Cause tricks and pranks and misbehaving ways took up most of my busy nights and most of my very busy days. In this insomnia I heard such a clatter. Out on the lawn I could see as I rose just what was the matter. The moon danced on the breast of the new-fallen snow, giving almost a lustre to the wretched beast below. When what before my frightful eyes did appear, a small talk with the demon dogs, not the reindeer. More rapid than eagles his flock they came. I'm sure, 'cause I listened, he called them by name. Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, and Vixen, spitting his venom from lips. Comet, Cupid, Donner, and Blitzen, clawing at the porch and climbing the walls. With a wave of his hand, he smacked them all, climbing them before releasing them up to the sky, only to be recalled when it is time to fly. Then a great thud I heard on the roof. I thought it may break under the weight of his hoof. As I drew in my breath, I was turning around. Down my fucking chimney, Krampus came with a bound. He was a mass of black fur from his head to his large cloven hoof. His great horns were tarnished with ashes and soot. It was no bundle of toys he had flung on his back. He looked like a merchant of doom opening his pack. His eyes, how they burned so scary. His face was so bestial and hairy. Rage and pain caresses the features of this most wretched of Christmas creatures. His droll little mouth was drawn up like a bow, and the fur on his chin revealing cycles of torture as white as the snow. The stump of a pipe held tight in his teeth as the smoke coiled up around his face like a wreath. He had a broad and serious face and a little round belly. When he sneered, his breath was foul and smelly. He was not chubby nor plump, definitely not a jolly old elf. I screamed when I saw him in spite of myself. With a wink of his cold eye and a nod of his head, I knew I had everything to completely dread, and he spoke these very words. I have come here to twist my wicked magic work, as you've been rather naughty, or you were just a jerk. To yourself or to others, it's really hard to tell. Yet I'm tired and I'm sore from all my Christmas lashings, and I must rest my head. So I will dance with you this ultimatum instead. To keep me from returning next year and dragging you into my personal hell, be respectful as you do what you will. While others are suffering, do not sit idly by. Don't take what is not yours to take. Don't let others take from your light. Don't live a life dishonest and fake. Just don't be a fucking asshole, for goodness sake. And sticking his finger inside of his nose and giving a hard nub up the chimney, he rose. He hobbled to his sleigh, and to the hounds of hell gave a whistle. And away they all flew, like the down from a thistle. I heard him exclaim as he drove out of sight, "It isn't Christmas at all, without Krampus good fright."
I'd just like to say thank you so much to Tony Dolan and Venom Inc. We want to say happy.
Kelly,
make more money.
you just opened Pandora's box right there. Kelly, you just opened Pandora's box right there, and you basically just defined what's going on.
Fully agree with you on that. I think talking points are a big thing that is missing that, needs to definitely be established. People need to be able to come out and have conversations regarding whatever. Because I remember when I was a kid, and my grandma would meet people like in the aisle, be getting bread, they'd be getting soup or whatever. And then we'd be in the aisle for like 10 minutes and, they talk everything from their day, gardening, politics or whatever, and regardless of whatever little debate that they had. The thing with debates is
it's like, well, if you don't have the income, how do you, how are you sourcing it? So
Well,
it's
Lips has a book and a movie about that very same
Yes, he
scenario.
does.
We can all reread the book and watch the movie again and learn from his life lessons.
Then from the tips. I thought you were going to say because Lips has a very popular book and a very popular movie, he can fund us, which I was going to.
No. And I think he's one of the most commendable stories of just never giving up and just to keep going. And I think
but
that's
it's not because of a pandemic. I haven't been faced with that before. It's really, to me, it's one of the most brutal fucking slap in the face that I've ever had, because after all the struggle to get known enough to be able to go play all around the world, and then this happened. Great.
Yeah. And we'll find now that
All
anybody who can
all that come to a dead end. You know what I mean? All of it. You go through everything that you could possibly go through. And you finally get some success. You finally it gets going, and then all of a sudden this shit happens.
Yeah, because
But the truth of the matter is, I would rather us all sit around and love each other, and it doesn't matter what you do.
Hello. Just waiting for everybody to. Hello.
Hello.
Hello. How are you?
I'm okay.
Who else is here? I think Mick is joining in. I think people probably come in pretty slowly this time. Sorry. Where's your camera, Lips?
I'm getting it. Hold on. I use it as a microphone. So right now it was set up as a microphone on a tiny little lamp. Okay, let's see.
There you are. I don't know. It says that. Can you see the little squares at the top?
What do you mean?
Of everybody else, or is that just me because I'm the controller?
Well, there's different ways of looking at it. There's a thing at the bottom that says participants.
Okay.
And I think that when you click on that, I think it gives you the list.
Okay.
There was some kind of way of actually setting it up so you can see it any way you want.
Well, I'm hoping that everybody followed the links and they're working. I contacted everybody, so we got people coming from pretty far away today. So hopefully that it all works. I'm not sure why it's not connecting with Meg. This is frustrating. Maybe I can message him and see what's happening.
Yeah, I see at the bottom of the screen, there's a little wavy little line. It looks like if he's on pause or something.
Yeah, well, I sent him a message. Well, I heard back from John Gallagher and Miles
he
Goodwin
said-
today.
okay,
Oh,
here it
there we
comes.
go.
Hello.
Hey, Mick, how are you?
Right, how you doing?
Not too bad. All the way from, where
That's
are
fine.
you exactly? In Pennsylvania?
Philly, yeah.
Ah, oh, what's it like there?
Rainy and cold.
Yeah, same. Yeah. All right. Well, we're still waiting on a few other people to kick in, but we can.
Doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
We can still talk.
I like your
out ears.
your well-placed sitting position in front of your nice poster there of Anvil. Check that out. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Oh wow, cool.
We opened for you guys back in, I don't know if it was 2014 or 2015. You had played Reading, PA at the Reverb.
What was the name of the club?
Reverb. It was in Reading.
Reverb?
Yeah.
Wow.
That's such a
Yeah,
cool.
sometimes the name rings a bell and sometimes it doesn't. I can't picture the actual place, but I don't know. In Philly?
Actually, we have a actually hold on, I'll be right back. Wait a minute.
That's so cool. See, Steve.
I gotta think about it.
We got,
yeah, the name.
We got you guys to sign a guitar.
Wow. Wow, that's fucking cool.
Yeah. It was a good show, man. It was great.
Aw, how long ago was that?
I'm going to say it was 2014.
Oh wow.
Which bass player did we have?
Sal.
Oh yeah, we had Sal. Okay, it's taken off our paychecks, and it's part of our part of government. It's part of our society. It's not something that you have to pay for. Something that is paid for. You pay for it out of everybody pays for it.
And it's a great.
That's socialism. And
Yes.
the story.
Oh, man. James Murphy is trying to connect now, and so is my friend from Jamaica.
So well, for whatever reason, they're having a problem. I don't know how to. I can't direct them because I can't see their screen.
I know.
You know, you can't tell them, hey man, click on that.
I know, right? And I have no tech support. My tech support is actually unavailable today. He's gone. So I guess what we'll have to do is just invite him back next time and try this again. So I'm sorry about that, guys. I appreciate you both coming on anyways. So I'm sorry, where were you guys? I interrupted you. So bad. We'll just spark a joint. How's that?
Well, we were getting a member history.
A member
Yeah,
history.
just a member. And then I'm thinking about Philadelphia. You know, I spent about a week there.
Oh wow.
And then we were supposed to play this show, and we ended up, when the band got there, they looked at the venue and they went, no. It's some kind of little fucking, a little tiny little club, man. We couldn't get our back line into the, and up a fucking, 35 stairs or something like that.
Oh wow.
So the road crew started freaking out, and Rob looked at it. He goes, "You'll just get my drums in there. Forget it. Where you put your guitar rigs?" It's like,
who's
so
responsible for that?
That's our last experience with Philly, and in the meantime, I fucking was there with my wife waiting for the band. I took a flight from I don't know St. Louis or something, and they drove, and I just flew across with my wife and then spent a few days extra in Philly, right? Because I wanted to see the city. Interesting.
Sure.
Fucking awesome, man.
Yeah. A lot of history there.
Yeah, it's the first real Washington. That's really the capital. That was the capital of.
Yeah, originally, yep, yeah.
It's one place I haven't actually been. It's kind of crappy. There's a lot of good bands, a lot of good music out there, it seems. There are good clubs and venues still, right?
There's still some. I mean, everything's still relatively closed. There's not much happening in the way of bands playing. You have to go into Delaware or Maryland right now to see some live bands, but there's a lot of restrictions to it, and it's minimal crowds. I mean, like under 25. So it's really tough right now.
Oh wow.
Yeah, believe it or not, we can't go out and play. We can't even get across the border.
I can. I'm kind of lucky that way. I could get across for medical reasons and back. Nobody really believes that I can until they see that I'm on the other side. They're like, well, holy crap, there it is. But yeah, it's really, really tough, isn't it? Oh, wait. Who the heck is... Jason Tamba. Yeah, okay, cool. All right. Have either of you heard of Playing for Change, the band Playing for Change?
Okay.
It's
I'm
not
aware of
metal.
it. Yeah. Aware of it.
They kind of do amazing stuff where they take, oh yay, Rosalind's here too. She's also from Playing for Change. Hi, Jason.
Hey, Carly.
Hi. Meet Lips, Steve Anvil. This is Jason Tamba. Hello. And Michaels. I think Roz will be joining us very soon. I was just explaining a bit about Playing for Change, but maybe I'll let you do that. Oh, wait.
That's great.
There's a lovely lady. Hi. How are you? I was just introducing everybody. So you obviously know Jason, right?
Hi, Jason.
Hi, Ross.
Fun.
Oh, you look so
Nice
beautiful.
meeting you.
And this is Mick Michaels. He's of Corners of Sanctuary out of Philadelphia. And my lovely co-host, Lips, Steve Anvil of Anvil.
Hello, I'm here.
Hey, everybody. I wanted to explain to them a little bit what Playing for Change is about, but I'll let one of you guys do that, whoever wants to do that.
I'll let Jason do it. Go ahead, Jason.
Hello, Ross. Yay.
Go ahead.
Wow, what a panel. What a panel.
Okay, would you like me to explain? So I was struggling to get into the Zoom meeting because I was using my cell phone, and then it was not supported. The browser I was using was not supported. Then I came back to my computer. Yeah. Would you like me to explain, or Ross can explain?
Yeah. Tell us about Playing for Change.
Oh yeah. So Playing for Change is a movement which build the music schools, just to help the kids to go for free and study for free. So then what we do, we have three things in Playing for Change. Let me come from the beginning. We have time to come from the beginning. Playing for Change was created by our sound engineer. His name is Mark Johnson.
Amazing.
He was an engineer for Paul Simon and quite a lot of artists. And then he felt like working too much in studio. He found like there are also good music on the street. Every time when he walks on the street, he sees like, those people also are also good artists, but they don't have chance to go to the studio and be recorded. What if he just takes the studio to the people, to the streets, and then see how this is gonna work? And then the first song, he went to the Promenade Street because he was working around here in Los Angeles. He went to the Promenade Street in Los Angeles and recorded the first guy was called street musician was called Roger Ridley. Ridley. And the first song was like Playing for Change. It was Stand By Me.
Stand By Me, yes.
Yeah.
And Tears on My Pillow, I think, was one of the first ones. And I saw that video right when it came out. It was incredible.
And then thought like, why not taking that song around the world? Take the song and start adding musicians around the world. And then that's how, he started adding the musician around the world, and it gives a big impact.
Hello, James Murphy. Oh my gosh, another artist.
Yay!
Yay. Okay, continue. We'll say hello to him in a second. This is incredible.
When he started that, the second time when he came to record World No More Trouble, that's how I've been found. And he came with the crew in Africa. And then in his passage in Africa, we were playing in this restaurant, and they came to eat in the restaurant.
Yeah.
They kind of like, oh guys, you play so well. This is our project. Can you get involved? And we got involved. We played in World No More Trouble, and then I sang in that too. And then people also liked it. From there, I got involved until today. So then we have three things in Playing for Change. We have Playing for Change has the band in which I'm involved.
Yeah.
And then we have Songs Around the World. The band tours. And everything we make comes to the foundation to build the school music. And we have Songs Around the World. It's that recording one song and traveling with the song all over the world, adding the musicians from different culture. And then we have the foundation, which build music schools. In Lille, that's Playing for Change, if I can say.
So 5% of any project I do moving forward goes to Playing for Change, and 5% to another charity.
Thank you so much.
Well, of course. So it's such a beautiful thing. And you guys have always been there, to donate music, to donate time, to just call me. I mean, it's an incredible thing. You guys... Roslyn, I can't thank you. She submitted probably the best piece of music I think I've ever heard in my life for our Christmas concert coming up. It was absolutely breathtaking. Oh, I can't believe you went to all that trouble. So,
wow. Thank you. It was not at all. If I tell you how that came about, my friends, when you reached out to me, I was trying to figure out, how am I going to do this with COVID happening and everything. And then best friend who owns a production company, film production, he called to say if I could come on set to help him, because I do makeup and stuff on film sets. So he said if I could that day to do makeup. And I was like, I actually wanted to help me to film something like real quick. So we had no rehearsals. I just called my friends that same day. I put some clothes on and that was it. And that's how it came about.
Wow.
So I'm so happy it came off well.
It came out amazing. One of the most beautiful things ever, honestly. Wow. And every time I've called on Playing for Change members, they've been there, whether it's just, from the hospital or whatever. And it just, Mick has done the same thing. He's donated an incredible performance as well. But I just want to say hi to James Murphy over there. How are you, brother?
Hey, how's it going? Can you hear me?
We can hear you. Finally made it. How you doing?
Well, I'm doing good. It took me a while to figure it out. I'm not very super savvy on Zoom yet.
No, I'm not super savvy either. I can't believe I put this all together, to be honest. And looking at this beautiful panel of people from all over the place, so many different, places and genres. I'm sure you know Steve Lips. Say hi.
How's it going, man?
Do you guys know each other?
Oh, well, I'm an Anvil fan from way back.
Well, who isn't, right?
It has to be from way back.
Well, I'm still an Anvil fan. Let's put it that way. But, I remember buying my first Anvil records probably about 1983 or something, skipping high school in Frankfurt, Germany, and taking the U-Bahn down to the Hauptbahnhof or the Hauptwache and walking around to little German record stores and finding, the early Anvil albums,
Yo, I do think Playing for Change should do a metal mashup. Just
83, 84, 85.
Just some great cheesy hair metal, a great song, some cover like that. Have you ever heard of Playing for Change?
I have not.
You have not. They're an incredible
I
band. We
haven't.
just did a great explanation on it. If you get a chance, go back and look through. They take musicians from all around the world, mostly street musicians, and do the same song at the same time. It's one of the most beautiful things you will ever see. And they've just become great friends, great supporters, and one of my charities. So great people to know. And I hope that you guys all, you know, stay friends, meet each other, do some great stuff, and stay in touch. But do you know Mick Michaels of Corners of Sanctuary? Did you open for them as well? On your wall there? Let's see.
No, I don't think so.
No? No? Are you
No,
sure?
I'm
It's quite the
no,
wall,
so
though.
I'm not familiar, but I'll definitely check it out.
All right. Well, now that everybody knows each other, I didn't know that Mick had opened up for Steve before, so that was kind of cool just to see
That's
that
fun. That's
you
always
guys had
fun.
met. Yeah, it's a weird.
I'm surprised I haven't over the years. I mean, even from my very first, the very first album that I ever played on, it came out in 1990, but it was recorded in '89, and so only about 5-6 years after I bought my very first Anvil records. But in the meantime, I had moved back to the States, and I didn't really know that anybody in America knew about Anvil. I didn't. I thought it was like.
They didn't really.
but
You talk a lot about that.
When I met Chuck Schuldiner, but the year before I joined Death and made my first album with them, when I met Chuck Schuldiner, I went to Terry Butler, the bass player's house. Terry plays for Obituary now, but back then he was in Death, and they were on their Leprosy album, I think. And I came in. They were getting ready to do Spiritual Healing, the album that I came in for and played on, and wrote a lot of music for. But I went to Terry Butler's house with Chuck and Bill, the other three guys, and it was my very first meeting of them in person. And Terry had his record collection there, and they were talking about how awesome Chuck's record collection was, and we were just talking about all the bands we liked. And it didn't take very long for Anvil to come up, and all three of us were just, like, hell yeah.
The headliner doesn't get to choose who you tour with, like you just show up and you never know who's opening for you.
You come to each gig and it could be it's a different band, a different sound.
Yeah, local openers or regional openers. Yeah, we come from wherever. It's usually just done by the promoter. Set up by the promoter.
Crazy. That's crazy. It's like it's your show, though. It would matter who's opening for me. I would want to choose them.
Yeah, well, it's also a business, and at some point, I mean, if you can't dip into you can't have your fingers in every single part of the business. Most bands don't even have that much clout to begin with.
That's true. That's true. So. I guess Playing for Change is special. You guys consistently work with so many different people. Who's been your favorites? I asked Mermans, what it was like to work, with Keith Richards and, Ringo Starr or Taj Mahal. And he goes, well, I'm from Africa. I'd never heard of these people before. I come here, I listen to the music, it's amazing, and I go play with them. I'm like, you just go play with Keith Richards, like you've never heard the name. This is mind blowing. But who is your favorite?
Excuse me, is that Rosalind?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
You just noticed that now? Look, another one. I think we'll send you some Canadian weed.
Okay. I got it.
I know we're crossing genres here. I know you guys probably never heard of Anvil, have you? Or the band Death, or Testament, or any metal.
Yeah, it's all probably foreign to you.
I've heard of Lips.
You have. How could you not, right?
But unfortunately, I haven't heard of the others. Sorry, because we do. I work with Damian Marley, so we do a lot of the festivals on the road and stuff. So I think at some point I heard of Lips.
There you go.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Person out there who doesn't enjoy it. It's just too good. It's just really too good. And I think that's 10 more minutes. But I think that's the beautifulness of just bringing a bunch of people together that maybe might not have thought of joining forces. I think that's what it's all about, brothers and sisters, is bringing love through the music across the world, across the genres, with open hearts, against discrimination, for the betterment of everybody. And as the world is turning right now and suffering, all I want to do is bring a little love to it. These are some of my favorite clips of the show so far, and I'm going to do a part 2 to this because there's just so much content now. So I hope you come along and support us. We'd really like you to get involved. There's a way for you to do it right here. Thank you so much. I love each and every one of the people on my journey, and I love each and every person that's about to become part of it. Thanks so much for liking and sharing and supporting Kelly V, the Pop Pixie.